Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Techno Talks here. So in today's video, we're going to be checking out the iPhone 14 Plus. So this actually did release a couple of days ago. You weren't actually able to buy this device when it first released. It wasn't in the pre-order list, but we finally got our hands on it. And so here we have it in front of us today. So the price on this is going to be $899. It is definitely on the pricier side. I wish Apple actually went ahead and made the 14 Plus $799 and the 14 $699, but they just went ahead and did this. I feel like it's still a little pricier compared to some other devices, but again, it is what it is and we can't really do much about it. So we do actually get a lot of colors this year with the 14 Plus. The one here I have is going to be blue, so I did get the blue one. There is product red, there's black, there's this white color, there's this purple color. I don't remember all the names, but the one I have here today is going to be the blue one. So let's go ahead and open this up. Packaging, very Apple-like, obviously. This time with this, we do actually see the front display on the 6.7-inch display, massive display on this phone. I actually don't usually go for any Max or Plus devices. I actually own the 14 Pro and didn't go for the Max. And the reason for that is because I feel like it's a little too large for my hand, for my liking. And so I go with the Pros, but here we have the 14 Plus. So beautiful blue color. As you can see, it's not a matte finish on the back. With the 14 series, it's only with the Pros that you get the matte finish on the back, but we do get a matte finish on the aluminum sides, as you can see right here. So it is made out of aluminum, unlike the Pro versions, which do have stainless steel sides. Here we do get a little pamphlet with some booklets inside. You know, eSIM, you no longer need a SIM card. And then we do get an Apple sticker, which you can go ahead and use for anything you'd like. So we'll put that to the side. And here we do have our Lightning to USB-C cable. So again, no power brick, but that is fine. So here is a USB-C to Lightning cable that you're going to be getting with all of your iPhones. I wish Apple just went ahead and switched to USB-C already, but they still haven't done the move. It's kind of getting annoying, you know, everything having a USB-C port now from Apple other than the iPad and the iPhones. You know, it does definitely get a little annoying. So let's go to move this to the side. Pop that right there, and here we have our iPhone 14 Plus. So let's go and pull the sticker off. Voila. So here is our iPhone 14 Plus. Let's try and get this turned on, and we do have charge in this device, which is nice to know. So put that to the side, and let's go ahead and start talking about some of the specs. So again, we do have a 6.7-inch display. Unfortunately, it's not a 120 hertz display, which I guess is okay. It's not a Pro device. Apple already claimed that they have 60 hertz displays on these. And I wish for this price, you could have gotten 120 hertz, as $899 is definitely on the pricier side. And Apple could have given you 120 hertz, but I guess they just decided not to. We do get two cameras. We have a wide and an ultra wide, and these cameras are definitely very small compared to my Pro. The Pro, it has a triple camera layout, but even the lenses, they're huge compared to this one right here. And especially having it on a Plus device, so the device is much larger, this camera lens looks even smaller when compared to the 14 Pro. So we do get 6 gigabytes of RAM, and unfortunately, we do get the A15 Bionic. It still outperforms most devices in a lot of benchmarks. However, it's still an A15. You paid for a newer device. You should have gotten the new A16, but I guess Apple just didn't want to give that a try. So here is the iPhone 14 Plus. We do get a nice large battery. We get 4,323 milliamp hours, so definitely a large battery on a Plus device, and you probably will be getting the best battery life on this one right here. Compared to the 14 Pro Max, it's going to eat up a lot more power. With the 14 Pro Max, you have the 120 hertz display, the better display, higher peak brightness on that display, and so you're definitely going to be eating up a lot more battery with that phone right there compared to the 14 Plus, and so I believe the 14 Plus will definitely outperform the 14 Pro Max in battery life. So let me go ahead and get this set up real quick, and we'll go ahead and check out some of the settings, you know, check out some of the camera features, and that will basically be it for our initial review. All right, so the setup did take a couple of minutes, but it was pretty quick and easy, and here we have the iPhone 14 Plus. So we do obviously get Face ID, which I already went ahead and set up, so let's go ahead and test it out. As you can see, Face ID does work with this device. So it's actually nice to see that this phone has a pretty large display, and using this device now, it actually is growing on me a little, having the larger display compared to, you know, the 14 or the 14 Pro. I never really liked this larger display and the larger feel of this device. And coming from a Pixel 6 Pro, which I actually used as well, I really don't like the large form factor. I wish, you know, the smaller devices got all of the premium features, but again, they don't, and so that's why I actually do have the Pixel 6 Pro. But moving all that out of the way, having this nice, large, beautiful display is always good to have. Yeah, you can watch all your movies, you know, you can watch YouTube, Netflix, Disney without any issues, and honestly, this feels so much better compared to my 14 Pro. So again, let's go ahead and move into our settings before we talk about anything else. So in our settings, one of the main things I want to go ahead and check out is going to be the display and brightness. So obviously we do get our dark mode, as you can see, and that is set on automatic. So dark mode, light mode, it'll just switch between sunset and sunrise. And then we can change our text size right here. Plus we can actually go ahead and change if we want some bold text, and I will probably turn that on later. We have true tone, and then we have night shift, auto lock, raise to wake, display zoom, all those on default. And then if we go ahead and move into our battery, which is one of the newer things on iOS 16, is going to be battery percentage. So if I bring it up and click battery percentage, as you can see, the battery percentage does show up, and it's at 80% right now, which is nice to see like that. So one issues I've had with this battery percentage is that when you turn it on, it doesn't actually indicate where the battery is. It's a full battery, it's covered all in black, and then you just have the number on the inside. So you can't really tell just by looking at it. You have to read out the number, but I guess that is the point of it. So let's go ahead and keep that on. We do have our battery health. It's probably at 100%. This phone is brand new. Next thing, we do get our privacy and security, app store, wallet, passwords, all that. We can change our wallpaper, accessibility, and then that's basically about it. So nothing too much on iPhones, you know, nothing has really changed. When I do these when I do these Android unboxings, Android device like Samsung, Google, there's a lot of things that usually change. But with Apple, you know, as you can tell, there hasn't been too many changes compared to the previous generation. So there isn't really too much to talk about that's actually really new. So one thing I'd like to say is that we don't get always on display on this device compared to the 14 Pro series, which does have always on display. I personally do like it a little, but I kind of do enjoy the always on display that is present on Samsung and Google devices, as it doesn't eat up any of the battery. So the one on the 14 Pro series, it definitely does eat up some battery. You still do see the full image, even though it's at 1 hertz of refresh rate. But again, I don't really like it as much as I like it on the Samsung and Google devices. So let's move on to our cameras. So again, we do have our ultra wide and wide angle camera, plus we do get one camera right here. And if we do move into them, we get this is our first setup screen. So if you've never opened the camera app, which is going to be the same thing when you do first set up this device, you're going to have this right here. So photographic styles, you're going to choose a style, or you can set up later, which I'm going to do set up later. So we have our 0.5x and we do have our 1x. Again, we have an ultra wide and a wide angle camera, which is really nice. They probably take beautiful photos. They don't have the highest megapixel count, but you're still going to get some fresh and clean photos, as you do have the somewhat new A15 Bionic. So you'll get some nice processing. We do get 4K 60 frames per second video on both the ultra wide and on the wide angle camera. And then if we do go ahead and flip it over, we do get 4K 60 frames per second with the front facing camera as well. So let's go back. And then we do have our cinematic mode, continue. Cinematic mode, we do get 4K 30, which is nice to know. So you're not losing out on that. You don't have HD 30. And then you can also do 24 frames per second, but the highest is 30 frames per second. We don't get action mode like the 14 Pro. Action mode, I actually went ahead and tested that out. It is beautiful. It's probably one of the best ways in any other device has implemented stabilization with any of their modes. So Samsung does have this super steady mode, Google has this mode, but personally my favorite is going to go to the 14 Pro, but you don't have that with the 14 and the 14 Plus. So we do get a portrait and we do get pano. So all of the camera features that you'd expect, except for a couple that are missing out on this device. You know, they're not the most important, but you do get all your basic needs with without having to go for the Pro Max series. You can go out and buy the 14 Plus and you should be fine. So as an average user, then this device is going to be perfect for you. There are definitely some better choices, but if you do want to stay on iOS, then this is the one to go for, with a large display and basically all the features you need in a new device. So that will basically wrap it up for this video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and see y'all in the next one.